Hello everyone, welcome to the channel Profile Plus. This is Padma. Do like, share and subscribe the Profile Plus channel to know more about communication and personality development. Don't forget to press the bell icon. So today let's see this topic face to face. Actually, when there are certain people, the beginners, though they are trying to go out and converse with people, they sometimes find it really difficult to start a conversation. So before I begin this video today, I ask all my followers, just ask a self question to you, stating that, do I find it difficult to start a conversation, or am I unable to make a conversation flowing smoothly? These two are the major problem. Okay, see, whenever, even at a workplace or whenever you go for any kind of a parties or somewhere outside your home, if you meet, it happens for you to meet somebody new or some new stranger. Okay, you meet them for a very first time. So during that time, normally people get a kind of a nervousness. They don't really feel like they are confident to start a conversation with them. Especially this happens in a party. Okay, see, in a workplace it's become a compulsion, right? So you definitely have to go and speak to your client. That has become a compulsion. But in a place where it is not a compulsion, for the beginners who are trying to speak this language, speak English language, what happens is they feel completely closed, and they think that I cannot start a conversation with them. Probably if I'll just speak to them if they start it first. Okay, and even if they start to speak to such people, the problem is they are unable to make the conversation flowing very smoothly for a long time. So that shows they are less confident, isn't it? So today let me just tell you certain tips in order to just improvise your face-to-face conversation. Fine. So my first tip today is interest. See, while you're making a conversation with a stranger, maybe he or she is new to you, there are certain people who don't even know what is this common topic where both of you can be interested to speak. Okay, see, unknowingly probably a person is more interested on politics. So just because you are interested in politics, you cannot just throw all your knowledge in that and towards another person. Okay, so before you just prolong your conversation, you have to know what is their interest. Okay, see, probably when you just get to know each other in the first few seconds or first 1 minute, you'll normally know. Okay, probably the person says that, yes, I do play a shuttle, yes, I do go to this place for my regular walks. So that can be something in common between both of you. Okay, such a case, please pick out that and speak with both your interest. Remember friends, when you are not aware of the opposite person's interest, normally your conversation may not go very smoothly for a long time. This is really important to know your opposite person's interest. That's my first point today. The second point is point of view. While you're making a conversation, there are certain people, who either hide their own point of view towards the topic, or they don't accept the other's point of view. And they show it very, openly with their non-verbal cues. You all know what is non-verbal cues. It's like something called your body language. Okay, so what happens is during the conversation, maybe the opposite person may just give you a kind of a reply which you might have not expected. Okay, because that's their perspective. It is their own kind of a point of view regarding that particular topic. So you should be definitely aware, and you should have the tendency to accept others' point of view, and you cannot expect everyone to think the way how you think. So please remember, in a conversation it's really important, as we discuss all these points, in order to attract a person or in order to make your conversation go very smoothly for a long time. This is more important that you accept others' point of view as well. Okay, the next point is alert to attitudes. Here we find it really difficult, friends. See, this is many might have faced this kind of a situation. See, there are people who definitely have a different attitude. So they're not really your friends. It's like normally you tend to meet at your workplace or at some functions and parties. Somebody might be introducing a new person into your life. Maybe they are really good, but the way they their verbal dues or the non-verbal dues may not really express who they are exactly. Okay, see, as we always discuss, don't judge a person with their outlooks or in the way sometimes they behave, in fact. Okay, maybe we are fooled after a week by knowing maybe the person is really good, but probably he is a kind of a character who shows a lot of attitude. Yes, unknowingly. Maybe he must be doing completely, he is not aware of what exactly he is doing. So please be alert to attitudes. You may not find people of your attitude always, and you may not find people who always carry a positive attitude around you. There are many people around you who have a negative attitude, in fact, but that's not going to bother your conversation. Remember that. So you should be alert to attitudes. Whatever their conversation happens and however they show their attitudes, you must not just react unnecessarily there. So you be in your cool. That's what I mean here. Okay. So the next point is call them by their names. See, this is another small trick, friends. When you just attempt to make a little more, you're becoming a little close to that person, and it's not really important that you have to call them sir or madam until or unless it is a workplace or they are your hierarchies or they are your important clients. It's not really important that you call them as sir or madam there. Okay, so if they are of your age or little elder or younger than you, it doesn't matter. Just call them by their names. This way you can definitely attract the opposite person, and the conversation becomes more friendly and more joyful. So please address at least 2-3 times. You just point out their names. It also shows that you are showing some interest to remember their names, and you just keep calling them by their names. This is a small trick to make your conversation look little more effective. Okay. The next point is don't be dogmatic. This is a great problem, friends. Okay. There are people who definitely get stuck up with a situation like this. See, even though you are not really argumentative, you can find people who are like that. Okay, but it is also important when there are some people who just speak on more sensational issues, certain things like that, and they just argue to the core, and despite of the plays or anything, they never bother about anything around them, and they just keep being very dogmatic, being very argumentative. This is very, very wrong, and never be so argumentative. This is really important. See, I have just written something called as CC rules. So in a conversation, the CC rules are very important. You know what is CC? CC is nothing but being very courteous and cheerful. Okay, so I keep insisting all my students to be very cheerful. At the same time, they have to be courteous in their speech, or whenever you make a conversation with anybody, you have to be courteous. Okay, and that's really important, and the cheerfulness what you show, that makes your conversation flow very smoothly, even if it is for an hour. Doesn't matter. Okay, but stop your argumentative nature. Okay, so don't just argue after a point of time. So next, avoid your slang and superfluous and then your smack of exaggeration. See, this is really important. See, there are people who think that, okay, I am very good at English, and I'm going to just use whatever the vocabularies I learned today or I learned in the recent times towards this person in order to just, make a lot of attraction. Okay, so in that mentality, if you literally wanted to make your language look with a high flown vocabulary, maybe the conversation may not flow smoothly, friends. Remember that people may not understand the newly learnt word just like that with you. So 1 or 2 times they may not really understand you, but after some time they'll try to act. So what happens if they try to act like they understood? Do you think they talk to you for a long time? Definitely not. And people also think it is a big prestigious thing that if I have to at least use a minimum 10 to 20 high flown vocabulary, so people think that I'm really fluent. Remember, friends, you have to speak this language confident, that is very important, and also you have to speak any language in a way where the opposite person understands you. Okay, so this vocabularies or whatever it is, I really don't think it is more important that you have to just keep changing the words and vocabularies before you get really confident to speak in that language. Okay, so those who speak already very fluent, okay, they may really wanted to improve their vocabulary skills. I never say no, but for the beginners, never try to do all that. And before you talk all these vocabularies, please know whether the person has a sound knowledge in that particular language. This is really important, friends. Last but not the least, my point, your last point is smile. Okay, see, remember friends, whenever you make a conversation, it's not really, we remember each and every person we meet in day-to-day life, but touch your heart and say, there are certain people whom you have made a conversation in the past 5 or 10 years, but they could have taken a special place in your heart. See, remember the qualities what they possess. Just try to recollect all that. Why do I remember that person? I've just made a conversation with him only once or twice, or once during my travel, okay, on a train traveling, or somewhere you have traveled in your recent times, but you would have made a conversation with them only once. But maybe that one conversation, the person would have attracted you so much. And when you recollect the points, when you recollect what all the characterization and how did he speak to you and all that, so one point would definitely strike your mind, the person was quite smiling. Okay, so this is very important. See, I have in fact discussed this point in your telephone conversation, isn't it? So it's really important to just smile even over the phone, so that the enthusiasm, the cheerfulness, what you normally possess may definitely reflect on your way you module your voice. So the voice modulation, the attitude, the cheerfulness, the courteousness, everything matters when it comes for your smile. Okay, so whenever you just speak to a person, please never forget to smile, friends. So these are my 8 important points today. Sorry, it's 7. Okay, so 7 important points today. Please remember and practice this when you make a face-to-face conversation with anyone, either at your workplace or anywhere outside. Okay, try to use these techniques and post your comments below my video. Okay, for a few more videos, please try to tune with my channel. Enrich, empower and emerge with English. All the very best.